Red Bull has been compromised, and now their secrets are at risk of being exposed to Mercedes. Nyck de Vries is now being accused of espionage work after being seen with Toto Wolff right after he was replaced by Daniel Ricciardo in AlphaTauri. What could this meeting between the two mean? All that, plus talk of Lewis Hamilton losing faith in the Silver Arrows, so stay tuned. Toto Wolff was seen in the company of Nyck de Vries shortly after the driver's departure from Red Bull. The chief of the Mercedes F1 team and the former AlphaTauri driver were photographed at a cafe in Monaco on Wednesday, just a day after Red Bull announced their decision. After participating in only 10 Formula 1 races as a full-time driver for AlphaTauri, de Vries was released from his position due to a lack of points throughout the season. Daniel Ricciardo has been appointed as his immediate replacement, starting from the upcoming Hungarian Grand Prix until the season's conclusion. Given the evident history between Wolff and de Vries, their encounter raises intriguing questions. During the previous season, de Vries served as Mercedes' third driver, a position that is now filled by Mick Schumacher. At Monza in the same season, de Vries had the opportunity to substitute for Williams when Alex Albon was unable to compete due to illness. His remarkable performance in that race garnered praise from Lewis Hamilton and played a significant role in convincing Red Bull to assign him to their affiliated team, AlphaTauri, for the 2023 season. But it appears that Helmut Marko, the Red Bull consultant, has grown frustrated with de Vries sooner than expected. It is uncertain whether Wolff's influence will assist de Vries in securing a seat on the Formula 1 grid for the 2024 season. Given Mercedes' strong connections with Williams, that partnership could present de Vries with the most promising opportunity. While Albon has a contract for 2024, Logan Sargent's situation remains open. Marko has expressed skepticism regarding de Vries' chances of returning to Formula 1 and has even suggested that he explore a career in endurance racing as an alternative path. But then again, Toto Wolff may not be available to help de Vries, as he has his own problems to deal with. Things are far from smooth sailing at Mercedes. After enjoying nearly a decade of dominance in the sport, the team is currently engaged in a fierce battle with its Formula 1 rivals to establish themselves as the top contender among the rest, trailing behind Red Bull. Prior to the winter break, Toto Wolff made a bold statement that the W13 would be discarded and a new car would emerge, featuring an entirely fresh DNA. But during the unveiling of the W14, technical director Mike Elliott took great care to emphasize that the new car retained many positive elements from its predecessor. He told the media, "You'll see there's quite significant changes in the bodywork, but the core DNA is still the same." While Mercedes introduced a B-spec car in Monaco, the fundamental DNA of the car will remain unchanged until they can undertake a chassis and tub redesign, which is planned for the budget allocation of the upcoming season's Challenger. Despite James Allison taking over from Mike Elliott, there appears to be a continued lack of cohesion in terms of charting the future course for Mercedes' Formula 1 car design. Toto Wolff was questioned about the timing for Mercedes to shift their focus to next season's car after a disappointing qualifying session in Silverstone, where Hamilton and Russell secured the 6th and 7th positions. In response, Wolff said, "I think pretty soon. We have no choice." But during the Mercedes debrief after the British Grand Prix, James Allison displayed a more nuanced perspective regarding the team's future progress. When asked about the possibility of a McLaren-like upgrade that could propel Mercedes back to the front of their ongoing competition, Allison responded by saying, "Well, the simple answer is yes. We're only around about halfway through the season, and there's still plenty more development to come in these cars. All of the teams will of course be tuning their attention to next year, and that will sort of just defang all of us a little bit in terms of the rate at which we can improve our cars. But for each of us, and for us, absolutely there are improvements that we would like to make on the current car that we know will also carry into next year, so it doesn't feel like sort of throwing good money after bad. It feels like you're investing in both seasons with those upgrades. So for us, yes, you'll see the upgrades coming for a little while longer. I suspect for the others too." This is the complete opposite of Lewis Hamilton's vision for the future. The 7-time world champion wants his team to copy the approach taken by Red Bull, where the current car would be reconstructed entirely from scratch during the winter period. After the British Grand Prix, he said, "Our car? We have a lot of work to do. I think I know exactly what we need to do, and we need to have some serious conversations about what we're going to do moving forward. The McLaren is proof of the direction that they've gone. It was impressive how quick they were in high speed. Hamilton has clashed with Wolff regarding the McLaren upgrade, particularly after Hamilton was spotted closely examining the car that finished ahead of him at Silverstone. Hamilton believes that McLaren's significant improvement in the pecking order is because of their Red Bull-inspired side pods and bodywork. This may be the reason why the 7-time world champion's contract status is on hold. According to former F1 driver David Coulthard, the prolonged delay in Lewis Hamilton signing a new contract with Mercedes implies that he may have concerns about the team's pace of development. Hamilton has been engaged in negotiations with Mercedes for several months regarding an extension to his existing contract, which is set to expire at the conclusion of the 2023 season. Despite both Lewis Hamilton and Toto Wolff consistently stating their intention to sign a new deal, the official confirmation continues to be awaited. Coulthard speculates that the delay in the contract could be originating from Hamilton's end. He believes that Hamilton's eagerness to reclaim race wins and championship success may be a factor influencing the negotiations. He told C4, "We keep hearing it's going to be sorted, but why isn't it? It's not like they need to get to know each other. They've won multiple world championships together. So, I think it shows that he's just not quite settled in his mind as to, the upgrades are coming. They may be making a little step forward, but they need to take a leap forward to be able to challenge for victories." Prior to the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, Hamilton disclosed that he had reached an agreement on both the financial aspects and duration of his new contract. He expressed assurance that the deal would be finalized well before the end of the year. Hamilton further dismissed any notion that Mercedes' inconsistent performance and slower progress in closing the gap to Red Bull had caused him to question his commitment, saying, "That's not what I'm thinking. Before the end of the season, we'll be already well into the contract. I still have 100% faith in this team." Hamilton went on to tell his home crowd that he sees himself continuing to race in Formula 1 for at least another 5 years. "I'm hoping to be here a lot longer. I feel like I've got another 5 years in me at least, no? Let's see." Whatever happens to Lewis Hamilton, his young and hungry teammate George Russell couldn't care any less. He knows that his performance has experienced a decline, but he believes in his ability to blow by any of his Formula 1 competitors when he is in top form. Russell expressed his unwavering confidence during a conversation with reporters in the Silverstone paddock following the British Grand Prix when he said, "I think sometimes it's important not to overthink things. Just go back to basics and work on the processes with the team. What I need as a driver is to maximize my performance and what I'm looking for from the car, and just not to overthink things. I know that when I tick all of those boxes, I can beat anybody on this grid, and I think it's important that you do tick those boxes." Russell's dreams of surpassing Hamilton's achievements is evident, going on to say, "We often fall into a trap of wanting to do more work on finer details and work even harder. Sometimes you overcomplicate things and it's counterproductive. So it's striking that right balance, because I'm always striving for more." What do you think? Is Nyck de Vries secretly giving out Red Bull secrets to Mercedes? Is Lewis Hamilton having doubts about staying? Is George Russell right about being better than everyone on the grid? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.